This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Mabuhay! You're watching the Business Portal, your gateway to business trends and opportunities. And I'm your host, Howell Mabalo.
Good day, everyone. You're watching the Business Portal on the corporate world, your gateway to business trends and opportunities. And I'm your host, Renelyn Tan Castillejos. Have you ever dreamt of having your dream home designed by one of the top designers, interior designers in the Philippines? I'm sure that for many Filipinos, having their own home is really a dream. And for this day, for this session, we'll be having the chance to learn about how dream designs can be a reality. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the principal architect of GCube Design and Build Incorporated, architect Mariethel Garing.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Hi, Ren. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for coming, architect. I
It's my
know
pleasure.
that there's a lot of industry technologies happening now when it comes to designing and really having a lot of good spaces for Philippine homes. And as you are the principal architect in GCube Design Plus Build, tell us more about your company and how it started.
Okay, GCube Design and Build is a design and construction company which focuses on being energy efficient, cost efficient, structurally stable buildings. And we provide services, end-to-end solution services from architectural, interior design, and engineering and construction.
And so, how long ago did this business start? Did this company start?
GCube started 4 years ago. I left Singapore after working there for 4.5 years. I went back here to do design and construction of buildings and homes for the greater Filipino.
When you look around the metropolis, you'd really see a lot of tall buildings, a lot of high rises that are just being out there for a lot of clients to do. And when they start going into their own homes, of course, it's necessary to design it. And I think that's where your expertise as architects come in.
Yes,
So maybe
correct.
you can tell us about the trends that we can look out for homeowners today. What's out there for a lot of the homeowners?
Okay, there's a few, no. One is for the trend now is going open planning, and then high ceiling spaces, because there's a need for people. There's actually there was a study that concluded that people became more productive when they are living in a more open space,
Right.
and high ceiling spaces. So yeah, that's it.
I also agree because, like, for example, when I come into a space and there's a lot of room to breathe in, there's creativity that comes in, and there's really more space, I think, for interaction.
Yeah.
So I like that open spaces trend. What other trends are
Another one is
there?
the less is more concept. Less is more meaning the minimalist concept. I don't know if you've noticed, but before there are a lot of Mediterranean houses,
Yes.
those houses with many intricacies. Right now, the trend is going minimal. So if you can see, houses now are very boxy, box type. There's a lot of windows to let shine in and to have to let ventilation come freely.
And I guess even the colors are a
Yeah.
little bit muted. It's not the bright
Yeah,
colors
it's
anymore.
not the bright colors anymore. It's the earth colors, the white, the earth tones, the brown, the black.
And so I agree,
Dark brown.
minimalism, even in my own home, I think that's what we're trying to practice, because with a lot of the noise, with a lot of the clutter happening in the
Right,
busy
yeah.
life, especially here in the city, it's nice to go to a home where there's
you
a
can
lot
escape,
of
yeah.
calmness and just minimalist, and there's a lot of order.
Yeah.
So that's great. I'd like you to share with us perhaps some of the top projects that are favorites of yours so our viewers can get an idea of the kind of designs that GCube does.
Okay, the first project, this is not in any particular order, okay? So this project is the A-frame house. Our client wanted to have a rest house. Our client wanted to have a rest house with this type of design, with the A-frame house, with a very small square meter, very small area.
How big is
So
this?
This is just 80 square meters, but we were able to provide her with 4 tables or desks for her staff, and then
Wow.
living room, and then upstairs there comes the toilet and her bedroom.
That's
so
a
she can rest.
I'm sorry, that's a very unique design.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And so is it already finished right now?
Right, we're going to construction
Oh, that's
pretty soon.
great.
Yeah. And this
what
one is
about
the bungalow that we're doing. This one, I particularly like this one because the clients are very, very collaborative. They are very interactive, and they are very okay. So they're
that's
very
the bungalow?
interactive. Yeah.
And I think they really have a lot of family members as well to design that kind of space.
It is supposed to be a ancestral rest house thing for the family. So
And then the next one, we have
the 3-story apartment. The before picture you see is a one-story apartment. So the client went to us and then asked us if it's better if they just put another 2 to 3 stories over the existing one. But being a responsible architect and responsible contractor, we told her that the structural stability of the building is very important.
Yes.
So we just advised her to demolish the whole building and then to do a new building from scratch. So this one is a 3-story apartment, and we managed to put in 16 units with two rooms each: living room, dining room, laundry area, kitchen, and a toilet.
How big is this area? It looks like it's a very spacious and tall building.
It's only 477 square meters.
Oh, and then with the 477 square meters, how many individual units did you get to have?
16 units, and 2 of those are commercial units. So it's very special to me because I received a message from one of the tenants.
What did they
through
say?
Facebook, that they really like the architectural and the construction of the building, and they say that it works, and they are very, very amazed by the fact that in such a small space we were able to put all that their family needs. So it's a very nice compliment to receive as an architect.
I agree. And sometimes when, for example, maybe some of our viewers, they have properties that already have existing structures, and they might think, well, how do I renovate it? In that case, you actually tore down the whole building and created a new structure. So that's also a possibility.
Yes.
And so whenever you design, I'd like to ask how you incorporate the important aspects of being environmentally friendly and having sustainable materials. How do you do that?
Okay, so for some of our projects, one project is a dialysis center and a commercial building. So I provided one long stretch of a skylight, so that they won't be needing too much artificial lighting. Yeah. And more air can come through. So yeah, that's one. And then for another project, my client is very particular with the rainwater harvesting, which is also called a gray water system, where you collect the rainwater and then you reuse it to flush the toilets or to use it to wash your cars. So yeah, that's another one.
Especially because in the Philippines, we get a lot of rain, and so you take advantage of what nature brings for you, and you get to collect the water. And also, I'd like to ask, if, for example, you're a future home owner, what are some of the things to consider when you need to design or start designing your own space?
So one is the climate. That is the first thing, the climate. So is your property near the beach? Is it very hot? Is it near the city where it's very relatively cold? Yeah, because upon planning, it's very important that we know the orientation of your building, so that we can provide a well-ventilated building, and the client will make use of the.
And they also enjoy the whole space.
Yeah, they can enjoy the whole space. So the other one is the terrain. So is it relatively flat? Is the property relatively flat, or is it up on the hillside? So because the problem with that is the structural stability of the building. So there's a different structural analysis when it comes to the terrain. And then another one is the culture. Because sometimes, as for us Filipinos, we like to have big parties, big gatherings.
Yes.
So yeah, we interview our clients. That's the first thing that we do during design briefing. So we get to know the clients and we ask them for their daily activities.
Right.
So that we can know how to attack their design solution. So that's one.
I also know that in the whole industry, there's really a lot of support you get from organizations that
Yes.
you're part of. And you are the vice president for the UAP, or the United Architects of the Philippines Lipa chapter. Tell us how the UAP Lipa chapter really supports you, and what are the activities upcoming?
Okay, so for the UAP Lipa, we are cooking up some events and some projects to beautify the city, to help beautify Lipa City itself. And then we are helping each other, fellow architects, fellow colleagues, to get the best practices. We attend seminars together, we attend meetings together, so that we grow together. So
How important is this community of architects that you're part of?
okay, so for our profession, it's very stressful because there's a lot of external factors that causes a lot of stress, like the client and no, I mean the how you handle the client, the materials, and then the suppliers,
And the timetable, I think.
and then the budgeting. So it's very important that you get to see other people who are dealing with the same problems. So as
Right.
they can help you how to get more solutions, and you get to ask support.
And you
basically.
also get to exchange best practices, when it
practices,
comes to designing.
Mm-hmm.
If ever some of our viewers from Lipa are watching, perhaps you can invite them to join your group.
Hello, if you are an architect living in the Batangas area or Lipa City area in particular, you may want to join our organization. You may search us through Facebook, to our Facebook page, UAP Lipa Chapter.
Okay, that's very straightforward. Just UAP Lipa chapter. It's really an exciting time, I believe, for the Philippines right now, because
yes.
the administration is very serious in the build project, and I know that there's going to be a lot more developments when it comes to property, real estate. Perhaps you can share with us what are the future trends that you see in the field in the coming years.
Yes, the construction industry right now is booming. As you can see, there's a lot of subdivisions, there's a
Yes.
lot of real estate, housing, residential. I think I've heard from sources that, and I've seen, because most of my first projects when I came home from Singapore are of the medical facilities. So DOH, Department of Health, is very aggressive in providing Filipinos a better medical facilities by upgrading, requiring the existing hospitals and requiring new hospitals with very stringent compliance.
Yes.
So as the Filipinos can get better medical facilities to take care of their needs, medical needs.
Which is really good, because it's a nice opportunity for perhaps for a lot of businesses to start and just to upgrade the medical facilities, because health is really a big concern
Yes.
for a lot of Filipinos. Who are some of your inspirations when it comes to designing?
Yeah. First, of course, there's the client. Yeah, they are my inspiration. That's why during our design briefings, we do a sit-down talk with them and discuss how they live their daily lives. Because from there, we can know how to space out the areas.
Yes.
Yeah. If they are, what do they do when they come home from work? Do they stay at their living room more often than not, or do they go straight to their bedrooms? Because if they stay more in their living room, then we provide them a more spacious and more conducive area for them to relax. Yeah,
I like your style because it's really
Personal,
engaging,
yeah.
engaging your client, and not just giving them a nice looking space, but really putting into perspective as well their lifestyle, what kind of dream house they want, and
Thank you.
then they get it. So I think that's one of the strengths of GCube. Aside from that, perhaps are there any upcoming activities of GCube you'd like to invite them to, or maybe they can get in touch with you?
Yeah, you may wish to know more of our projects and our company through our website. It's www.gcubedesignandbuild.com, and you may also want to follow us in Facebook and in Instagram. Just search GCube Design and Build. Yeah, and you may also want to contact us at 0917-308-7592, and and on our landline number is 043-741-3808.
And GQ Design and Build is based in Lipa,
Yes,
Batangas,
it's based in
but
Lipa.
I understand that you also have clients even far,
Yeah,
even
on the
outside from Batangas.
Mm,
So
yeah. We
it's
do
not a
this-
problem.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not going to be a problem with the internet and the with the internet and the communication that we have right now. It won't be a problem.
And I also want to highlight that you personally go to a lot of these projects, and you said earlier that
Yeah.
you enjoy the interaction you get
Yes,
from them.
yes. The difference of GCube and myself personally is that we are very hands-on. So our team, we have a very supportive team. I am supported by my father, who's also an engineer. He's my
Great.
consultant. He's been in the industry for 40 years, so he's very experienced. So we have staff doing design, which I manage also, and then we have staff manning the construction site. So as the client would not be
Would not be
yeah,
at a loss because
at
you
a loss,
guide
yeah,
them.
because we already guide them. So yeah, that's one. And then aside from that, our family also has a business. We provide construction supplies, and then my brother, who's also an engineer and contractor, provide us with the paint supplies. So it's like a one-stop shop. GCube is like a one-stop shop.
Which is why the quality of the projects that you have really show that there's a lot of excellence in the work that you do. Architect Mariel, thank you very much for joining us on the show today, and I wish you all the best for
Okay.
GCube Design and Build.
Thank you for
so much
inviting
for
me here.
coming. And to our viewers, I hope that you were inspired to really just think of how you can start designing your own dream homes and turn it into reality. Once again, you heard from Architect Mariethel Garing, Principal Architect of GCube Design and Build Incorporated. Please don't change your channel. We'll be right back for the
Sorry.
next segment.